Have you ever noticed this? Your phone rings, not a notification, not a WhatsApp message, a real phone call, and suddenly your heart says, "Why is my phone attacking me?" You stare at the screen like it's a ticking bomb, you let it ring, and when it stops, relief. Then you text back, "Sorry, was busy, what's up?" Yeah. Today we're talking about why people avoid phone calls, and no, it's not because we hate people, it's because our brains are doing some very weird, very human things. Let's start with the obvious truth. Phone calls feel intense. A call demands your full attention. You can't multitask properly. You can't think for 5 minutes before replying. You can't reread the sentence to make sure it doesn't sound rude. It's live, unfiltered, no undo button. That alone is enough to make many people nervous. Think about messages. If someone texts you, you can read it now, reply later, or pretend you didn't see it while staring directly at it for 20 minutes. Messages give you control. Calls take that control away. And the human brain? It loves control. Another big reason, we overthink how we sound. On text, you can add emojis. On calls, it's just your voice. And suddenly your brain starts asking, do I sound confident? Do I sound bored? Why did my voice crack like that? Why did I just laugh like a broken scooter? You hang up and replay the entire conversation in your head like a movie trailer. Why did I say that? Texts don't do that to us. Texts let us edit our personality. Now let's talk about unexpected calls. If someone schedules a call, "Hey, can we talk at 6?" You're mentally prepared. But when your phone rings out of nowhere, your brain goes, something is wrong, someone died, or they want something. Nobody calls just for fun anymore. That's suspicious behavior. Back in the day, calls meant chatting. Now calls mean problems, work, complaints, or relatives asking uncomfortable questions. So we associate phone calls with stress, not connection. There's also this quiet fear nobody talks about. What if the conversation goes awkwardly silent? On text, silence is normal. On calls, silence feels illegal. Those 3 seconds of no talking feel like 3 years. So people keep talking just to fill the gap. They say things like, yeah, so, anyway, and afterward they think, I should never speak again. Avoiding calls avoids awkward silence. Simple survival strategy. Now let's add modern life to the mix. We're tired, mentally exhausted, overstimulated. Calls require emotional energy. Even talking to someone you love can feel like work when your brain is already full. So when the phone rings, your brain says, I don't have the capacity for a human voice right now. It's not rudeness, it's burnout. And here's a funny one. People don't want to be trapped. Calls are unpredictable. You don't know if it'll last 2 minutes, 10 minutes, or 45 minutes with no escape. On text, you can leave anytime. On calls, ending it feels rude. You can't just say, seen, and disappear. So people avoid calls to protect their time and their sanity. There's also the pressure to respond perfectly. On a call, you have to react instantly. No time to think. No time to choose the best words. Some people think deeply before speaking. Calls don't allow that. So they avoid them, not because they're antisocial, but because they're thoughtful. And let's be honest, voice notes exist now. They're the perfect middle ground. You talk, but on your own time, and the other person listens when they're ready. Why suffer through live conversation when you can do that? Technology gave us options, and phone calls became the most demanding one. But here's the interesting part. People don't hate phone calls. They hate pressure, surprise, lack of control, emotional effort at the wrong time. Give them a heads up, they'll probably answer. Make it casual, they might even enjoy it. So next time someone doesn't pick up your call, don't assume they don't care. Maybe their brain just needed quiet. Maybe they didn't have the energy. Maybe they didn't want to panic for no reason. And if you're someone who avoids calls, you're not weird. You're not broken. You're just human in a world that never stops ringing. So yeah, let it ring. Breathe. Text back later. And tell me, do you avoid phone calls too? Because if you do, you're definitely not alone.